WWE Smackdown, a 3-hour spectacular, at least part of that is true, went down over the weekend, the last of what is the start of a new era for the WWE, and it really did feel like it was Raw on Netflix, NXT, CW, we got The Rock, and Smackdown also happens. It is that I should have been more on it, that meme with the 3-headed dragon thing, and you have 2 fierce ones, and then another one that's just like, SmackDown was the in this one. This was a bad show. This was a really, really bad. That show sucked. I thought the pacing of it was awful. I thought it just dragged. The content on it wasn't very good. And like this wasn't even just a 3-hour show. Or a 2-hour show, spaced out over 3 hours. This was an hour show spaced out over 3. And not a good hour show. This felt like the old era of the WWE. This felt like a Vince McMahon-booked show. You're trying to get a bunch of catchphrases in. You have a lot of segments that kind of go long. You have a lot of stuff that is just there just to be there because we need to fill 3 hours, damn it. I didn't like this at all. I think I'm making that point probably abundantly clear. I thought this was terrible. I thought this was dreadful. The only advantage you have with a 3-hour show is that it gives you time to, A, expose people to more talent, and B, it allows that talent to have more time to shine. That does not just mean throw people out in matches that were put together in a kind of not great backstage segment and hope for the best. Because that's how you get dead reactions like we saw for the entire middle part of this show with the tag team matches that we had. Which, by the way, I think we need more clearly defined good and bad guys on there because no one knew who to cheer for, and that just let them all just like, this is an interesting athletic contest that we are witnessing right now, isn't it? Because there was no story there. There was nothing there. There was no investment on it. There was nothing. Post-wrestling, listening to their breakdown of it, they made the point, like, this felt like one of those, like we're taping before Saudi, because we have all the main stars over there, and we got to get Cody on the show, so let's just fly him back, and then he can go over there, because who cares about jet lag? But, like, this felt like the crew got snowed out, and so, well, we got to fill 3 hours with, like, 9 people, so let's do that. I thought this was a brutal show, and I think one of the things that I come away a little bit concerned with is what are they doing with Tiffany Stratton? Because, like, we heard all those reports that from Monday, she gets shown on the Tron or whatever, and the crowd goes nuts. And so WWE and NXT people are like, okay, you guys got a star here. But I think the WWE still views her as a heel. And, like, you look at the line of challengers that are coming for her, aside from Nia Jax, it's babyface Bayley, babyface Bianca, babyface Naomi. Now, one of those is going to turn probably eventually when that tag team breaks up, but for now, it's a bunch of babyfaces coming after her. So she's going to have to stay on that heel side and be that heel character. And I don't think the crowd wants her to be that anymore. But one of the issues that we have with this particular performer is we've never seen this as a babyface. And so we don't know how she can handle that. I'm sure, like, she's a talented person, so I'm sure she could figure that out pretty quickly. But also, the writers haven't really seen that. And so the people putting this show together don't really know the best way to kind of maximize those minutes with this person now as a fan favorite. Now, I think there's some overthinking in that because a lot of times, we need to make Damian Priest or Swerve Strickland on the other show a babyface, and you end up kind of just taking away all the awesome parts of the character that made us love them in the first place. So there's a little bit of it, but it was pretty clear on Monday that this crowd is ready to cheer this performer, and it was very clear on Friday that this company is not ready for you to do that yet. And so I'm worried that they're going to be swimming upstream, on this one a little bit, and that's not going to necessarily help this character out a whole lot. But this is one of the things we talked about on the NXT review last week, where I thought at the time making Roxy Perez a heel was a dumb idea because everyone loves her. She has a moveset that you just fall in love with and a charisma that matches that, right? And then you see her as a heel, and A, it works. But B, now you've given her this runway where she has developed her character into that. And so when she comes back to being a babyface, which I still think is where the money is with her, she at least has now rounded out that character and rounded herself out as a performer where she can now pick some great elements from that and go there. We have only seen Tiffy time as a heel. And so you don't have that well-rounded character yet to really see what we can draw on from that. And now that the crowd is falling in love with her and turning her babyface, we don't have that experience of what we can bring over as a babyface thing. And so it was the same as Braun Breaker too, right? Like he was over as a babyface, maybe being a little overexposed, and then they turn him into a heel. It's like, oh, that feels like maybe not the best way to go about it. And now, again, more well-rounded character, and we've seen some really good strengths in him. I do think that eventually Tiffany Stratton is going to be a phenomenal heel or a phenomenal babyface, but I think she is going to be a star in this industry and with this company. But I do think that they are really trying to just put her into one box right now, where we have seen a number of different times that's not necessarily the best way to go about things. Also from this show, I am interested in LA Knight against the Bloodline. I think we need a new name for them, the new Bloodline, because I feel like Roman Reigns with the Ufala now, I feel like that's the Bloodline. So it's weird, but that's semantics. I do think that the LA Knight and the Bloodline are perfect for each other. I think that the Bloodline, it keeps them from fading away. It keeps them right in that spotlight, while also being able to elevate LA Knight closer to the main event as we go into WrestleMania season, but then into the rest of 2025 and building up in there. And so I think that they are a really good match for each other at keeping one at the same level and really elevating the other. And I think we're going to get a lot of real fun stuff out of that. And the last thing here, that this is not breaking news. Jacob Fatu is just awesome. Everyone has known this for a while. I loved his stuff in MLW. Leader of the Contra unit and all of that. And then some of the like unscripted stuff they did with him was really good. Like just basically everything he touched in that company was awesome. And you could just see superstar in there. And I thought it took them a little bit of time, too long, honestly, to get him into WWE. But now that they have him here, they really have something. He is so different from a lot of what they have on this roster right now. And I think he needs to be a real focus now in this post-Mania. We'll see the build-up here, but looking ahead to kind of the next season of WWE, I think that Jacob Fatu is a very big part of what they should be doing.